The African community in Durham began as a trend of migration to the area, but became a movement as more African immigrants relocated to the South. As a result, the last couple of decades of Durham's history have witnessed the cultural infiltration of traditionalist African culture within a modernist America. The addition of the African perspective continues to shape both the physical and societal makeup of Durham with the emergence of new ethnic shops, worship centers, and a different moral system that centers around the family. Since becoming the collision site of diverse ideas and perspectives, the city of Durham has acquired a unique melting pot culture.
Why did your family come to the United States?
Most of our family was already here. During that point in time, my uncle, my dad's oldest brother, was graduating from Harvard, and my grandma and my aunts had come for the graduation, and they got stuck because the war broke out. And so my uncle had been, his wife was doing her master's at Howard, so most of my family just settled in Maryland, and that's where we ended up. There's a large Liberian community in Maryland.
Initially, I came to the U.S. for school, to go to school. But then I did go to school. I finished. I was supposed to go back to college, which I did a couple of years. But then I got married. And then, I had a kid. And then, okay, I'm going to go today, tomorrow, I'm still, and then I finally said, well, let me go just make my money. And, it's never too late to go back anyway, so.
My family came to the United States because my father came here for his graduate school work, and one of his professors said since he was very talented, he should come to the United States to do his graduate work in chemistry. And so he left his wife and kids and came to Boston University. Later on, my mom was also able to come to the United States at Boston University. So they stayed in the U.S. while my brother and I were raised by my grandparents until the age of 5 when my parents graduated and were able to send for us.
I came to Durham 1998.
Why did you come?
Well, just like the American dream.
Can you describe your journey, your immigration journey here to America?
All right, so I guess it was like in 1989, the war broke out, and most of my relatives had left, but we stayed, and my father got tipped off that they were coming to Monrovia, the Siegers moving to Monrovia, so my parents buried our stuff underground, and we waited, and the soldiers came. All our important documents my mom kept in her underclothes, our passports, birth certificates and stuff. We were forced out of our house, and we went to go live with some family friends, and then we kind of went into hiding. I don't remember that part. And then months went by, and then we're trying to get to the Ivory Coast.
So did you have expectations of how it would be? What did you think you would find here, and then what was the reality like?
Well, I was very familiar with, to a certain extent, so what's going on in this country, because I was at the American Cultural Center in Senegal, and I was actually the president of the English club there. So I know a lot, and I would watch the CBS Evening News and all these kind of things. But still there is some reality that was hidden. To give you an example, we would see things about the Ku Klux Klan and all that. But if you ask the people at the American Cultural Center, they say, oh man, that's a long gone story. We're not talking about that anymore. It doesn't exist. And then I came here, we had this problem in Greensboro. So that was an eye-opening. What you get from outside of this country and the reality are two different things. Yeah.
What were your expectations of America before you came to it?
Honestly, I thought the streets of New York were paved with gold, and all I needed to do was come with a big basket and collect this gold and live like a celebrity and all that. And it was not so. It was a very difficult life. It wasn't. I was shocked at JFK on entry. Somebody tried to beg $1 from me, and I thought I was America. And here's a guy trying to get $1 from me. I'm coming to get dollars from them. What's going on here? And it was kind of funny.
What did you expect the country to be like?
Oh, I remember just hearing a lot from my aunts and uncles and my grandparents about, being able to do anything you want to do, being able to become anything you want. And I think that still holds true. I believe the United States has a lot of opportunity. It's very difficult sometimes in Kenya to, go to school, get your degree, and not have a job at all after you get out because, for one, the economy doesn't support that. Most university-educated Kenyans leave the country. They go to Belgium or they go to Switzerland, United States, India to find jobs because most of the time the economy doesn't support the type of specialty they have.
I thought it's going to be very easy for me to go to school and get a degree and find a better job. And when I came to New York wasn't the best place to come to if you're coming from a third world country. So the standard of living is very expensive there, and the pace of life is so fast, and you hardly catch up with the people there just to live when you come. When you're first comer. So it delayed me a lot. As a matter of fact, it built certain impression on me that I may not be able to go for more education.
Many people have a perception of America or American people that everybody here is rich. Everybody here is just extravagant or doesn't care. But the reality I found is that that's not the case. Everybody really works hard to get whatever they have. Nobody's really getting free money somewhere, that you just come to America and you go and people hand out money to you. Those were reality checks for me, and I think most of them I used them to help myself be better.
I was relatively comfortable back in Nigeria. I had a house to myself, I had help, I had a driver, I had cooks, I had stewards, I had nannies, had several helps in the church, and I knew I was giving up all that to come to America and start a work where there was going to be no help to start initially. The kind of lifestyle I was used to back home, I was dropping that to be here. Some might find that a bit contrary to how many people see America, but I was very comfortable. And coming here wasn't very comfortable because I didn't have the help that I was used to. I now found myself and my wife having to look after 4 kids and do laundry and do so many things that, we just had help to do back home. And right now, then we realized everything was just on our plate.
What did you expect the United States to be like before you came here?
I guess because I was so little, the biggest thing about the United States was like, things are going to be better. We're going to be okay. We're going to have water again. We're going to eat. Like, my parents stressed that my normalcy would come back in America. So that's like, and they would tell me, oh, your cousins are going to be there. So that was like, I get to play with my cousins. That was my big thing.
Our job in making this documentary was to tell the story of Durham's transformation through the lives of as many people as possible. What we ended up creating was a very much Wizard of Oz-like collection of horror stories, estranged moments, joys, and struggles of African immigrants who left home to make a life in a strange land full of promise and mystery. And while the story of real life doesn't end when the camera runs out of film or with the click of magic slippers, this story ends with a beginning for the future of Durham and America, as all people living here, whether they've been in America for 500 years or 5 minutes, use their differences to help each other to advance.